Hello everyone, welcome to Odisha State Open University. So today we will learn Unit 3 of MS Sociology, that is Scheduled Tribe, Denotified Tribe, PBTs and Indigenous Tribe. So this is the part of MS Sociology PSO 102 and I am your course coordinator Dr. Pooja Gupta, Assistant Professor in the Department of Sociology at Odisha State Open University. So let's proceed ahead. So when we look at tribe, so we see that India is home to diverse array of tribal communities, and each of these tribes, which we also saw in the previous unit, that is the Adivasi, Vanvasi, Adim Jati. So each of these tribes, they have their own unique cultural traditions and also histories. Now, in this entire unit, we will explore the different terms that are used to categorize these tribes, such as primitive tribes, which we already saw, Adivasi, Vanvasi, Girijan, and also Adim Jati. So, we will also examine the definitions, origins, and also social phenomena and social implications of this categorization to gain a deeper understanding of the challenges and diversity within the Indian tribal population. Now, recognizing this classification is one of the crucial aspects for appreciating the richness and complexities of tribal heritage in India. Now, when we look at this image on the right side, it depicts the members of Angami Naga tribe, which showcase their traditional dress and also cultural identity. Now, we will look at the key term we will be exploring today, the primitive tribes, Adivasi, Vanvasi, Girijan, and Adim Jati. So, it is important to understand the nuances between this classification, and we will also examine how factors such as ecology, culture, and history influences how tribal communities are categorized and how policies are developed around them. So we will also compare the usage of Adivasi and Vanvasi and looking at how these terms are applied in different political, social, and also environmental contexts. Now finally, we will assess the implications of these various classifications on the tribal identity and rights in India. So this is the critical issue that impacts the lives of the million. Now, India has a diverse tribal population with over 700 scheduled tribes, which is recognized by the government of India. Now, these tribal communities, they make up to 8.6% of India's total population, or you can approximately tell 10.3 million people. Now, the tribal regions of India are known for their rich cultural heritage and also unique traditions, their and traditional livelihood. Now, understanding the demographic distribution of the tribal communities is very important for designing the policies and also programs that address the specific needs and challenges of the tribes. Now, the map, as you look and in this slide, it highlights the areas with the highest concentration of tribal population across different regions of the country. Now, moving on, primitive tribes, they have long been viewed as the most underdeveloped groups in our society. When we look in 1975, the government designated as them as particularly vulnerable tribal groups, that is also called PVTGs, to specifically address their unique challenges. So they are particularly vulnerable group, that is the reason why they are called as PVTGs. So PVTGs are characterized by their small population, their remote location, low literacy rate, and also reliance on subsistence level activities for their livelihood. Now, this target approach aims to uplift their marginalized communities and also improve their overall socio-economic conditions. Now, this targeted approach, now understanding the historical context and key characteristics of PVTGs is crucial to design effective policies and intervention. Now, moving ahead. So, India is home to diverse range of tribal communities, many of which, as already said, has been classified as primitive tribal groups. Now, Odisha has the largest number of PVTGs, that is particularly vulnerable tribal groups, at 13, including tribes such as Birhor, Bonda, and Joang tribes. So, the Andaman and Nicobar Island, on the other hand, are home to some of the most isolated tribal communities in the world, and they are Sentinelese, Onge, and Shompens. On the other hand, Jharkhand is also known for its Asur and Birho tribes, who are known for their traditional iron smelting practices. Now, these tribal communities, they have unique cultural challenges and also traditional way of life that are important to preserve and also protect. Now, the Adivasis, they have long history of being excluded from the mainstream society, from the mainstream social structure, and also they face marginalization. They also have unique cultural identity with their own language, their customs, deep and also deep connection with the nature. So, despite being recognized in the constitution, the Adivasis still face exclusion from the political and also economic process. So, their socio-political exclusion is one of the important issue that needs to be addressed to ensure that their rights are represented. Now, understanding the historical context of the Adivasi is one of the crucial aspects for developing effective policies and programs to support the tribal development. Now, this particular slide, it introduces the topic of Vanvasi, that is the sociological and anthropological perspective. It highlights three key aspects. The first is ecological identity. Now, the intricate connections of tribal community to forest resources or sustenance and cultural practices. Second is regional uses, that is the politicized term Vanvasi is used to integrate the tribal communities. Now, modern challenges, when we see how these tribal communities are affected as a result of deforestation, mining, and as well as industrialization. Now, this point provides an important context on the sociological and anthropological aspect of tribal communities and the relationship with the forest. So, I also encourage to understand more on the tribal communities by engaging into real life experiences through the field work and your social surroundings. Because it provides you the deeper understanding and also understand the unique challenges that these communities face in the current era. Now, Girijan communities, on the other hand, have deep connection with the natural environment they live in. And one of the key aspects of their lifestyle is shifting cultivation, which is one of the most common agricultural methods which is observed in the hilly terrains. They also rely on collecting forest produce, including non-timber forest products. So, Girijan are also artisans and they utilize natural resources around them to create a variety of tools and also ornaments through their skilled craftsmanship. Now, this close relationship with nature is one of the most fundamental to the Girijan's way of life. Now, Adim Jati people, on the other hand, in this slide as we see, are the custodians of the ancient traditions and knowledge system. So, they have been passed this knowledge system from generations, from one generation to the other, and they have distinct identity and cultural practices that set them apart from the mainstream or non-tribal population. Now, however, Adim Jati also face significant challenges, which is can be seen in terms of land alienation, lack of access to education, and also healthcare system. So it is important to recognize and preserve the rich cultural heritage of Adim Jati while also addressing the challenges, the pressing challenges that they continue to face. Now, this slide provides a conclusion to our examination of different terms that are used to categorize India's tribal population, including primitive tribes, Adivasi, Vanvasi, Girijan, and Adim Jati. Now, each of these terms, it highlights different aspects of tribal identity, their geographic location, and also the socio-economic status. Now, understanding the nuances is one of the crucial aspects in developing effective policies and also to ensure that the rights and well-being of India's diverse population, tribal population. So the key takeaway is that these classification are complex and they are also multifaceted, and it is necessary that we must be mindful of this complexity when designing any certain policies and programs and also initiatives to support the tribal development. Now, moving forward, it will be important to continue to study these categorization and also their implication in order to serve the needs of India's wider tribal population. So that is all for this unit, and thank you so much. I will see you in the next one.